Tiger Woods is her idol, and her everyday vocabulary includes words such as range, green, eagle, iron, and putter. She wears a polo shirt and a cap, and there are more than a dozen golf clubs in her bag. At the age of 16, Elvira Rastvortseva is a two-time champion of Ukraine in the sport of golf. She has been at the top of the national rankings for 2 years, and she took part in 3 European Championships and 2 World Amateur Championships as a member of the national golf team of Ukraine. Her ultimate dream in life is to become a professional golfer and have the chance to participate in the Olympic Games. 7-year-old Elvira started golfing thanks to her father. One day he took his daughter to a training session, and as professionals say, the young girl was immediately bitten by the golf bug. We stood on the range, and I was watching my father striking the balls. Then I started trying it for myself because I was overcome with interest and curiosity of how it was to strike a golf ball in that way. I missed the first 3 times that I tried to strike the ball. The whole family of Rastvortsevs plays golf now. The father, mother, and their 3 daughters. Elvira is the oldest and the most successful so far. When she was 8 years old, she won her first junior US children's tournament. With her sports career spanning 9 years, our heroine has already lost count of her medals and cups that she won.
Это было парковое поле 9 лунок, самое короткое поле у нас в Украине.
It was a green in a park with just 9 holes, and it was certainly not the best green in Ukraine. I finished it in 83 strokes. It is a major score, though I had only started playing fairly recently at the time. So I can honestly say that it was a pretty good result.
76-77 на 18 лунках.
My average score today is 76 to 77 strokes on an 18-hole course. But I'm working on improving my results so that I can finish in no more than 72 strokes and 74 strokes at most.
Ну, не больше, 74 максимум.
The first thing Elvira shows us is her set of golf clubs, which are the main instrument of any golfer. There can be up to 14 of them depending on different ranges. The main purpose of a golf bag is to protect the clubs from blows and scratches during transportation.
Кала. Кала – это моя самая любимая.
The koala is my favorite one. There are all kinds of them. There are zombies, people, and food, and everybody chooses to their taste. A koala means a lot to me. It is a gift that I highly value, and it's the best toy for me. There are also more standard ones.
Я ценю, храню, и вообще самая лучшая игрушка. Вот. Также есть уже более стандартные, это чехлы на гибрид.
These are the bags for hybrid and wood clubs that are used for long-distance strikes. I won this bag at the Faldo Series competition in Slovakia. It is quite old now.
Есть паттер.
I have a putter, which is used to roll the ball into the hole. And then there are the irons. Irons are the clubs that are used for medium-distance shots. A 4-iron has the lowest loft, but I don't have this club here in my duffel bag. Then there is the classic 5-iron, which also allows a golfer to strike the ball over the farthest distance. And I also have wedges, which are like irons, but they ensure the highest lofts. However, and you can also use these clubs for making short-distance shots.
И бьет, соответственно, на короче дистанцию.
At the age of 13, Elvira Rastvortseva took second place in an adult championship in Ukraine, which earned her an invitation to play for the national team. At the debut European Amateur Championship of the athlete in 2016 in Bulgaria, the women's team of Ukraine showed the best result in its history, 6th place. In the same year, at the World Championships in Mexico, Elvira was the youngest player among the 150 participants in the tournament. Every player was at least 2 to 3 years older than me. There was even news about me that a Ukrainian girl had come to compete and achieved a fairly high score as the youngest participant in the tournament. I was all of 13 years old that time.
Мне тогда было 13.
Elvira is a very focused athlete. Being the captain of the women's national team for the 3rd time, I noticed Elvira's amazing ability to get herself together at the right time and motivate the team. She can play a few holes poorly, and then she pulls herself together and manages to show her best result. At the Amateur World Championship in Mexico in 2016, the women's national team of Ukraine took 53rd place. 2 years later, at the World Championship in Ireland, they were second to last in 56th place. This comes as no surprise, since this sport started actively developing in Ukraine only in the past few years. Out of the 10 million golfers around the world, Ukraine accounts for only 4,000. They decided to popularize the sport by focusing on the development of women's golf. The Royal and Ancient Golf Club at St. Andrews is the organization responsible for the development of golf around the world. It sees the further development of golf when a woman starts playing and brings her family and child and they start playing together. The number of players increases with this approach, which we are also observing in Ukraine. We launched a women's golf tournament this year, and there have already been 4 stages held and see an increase in the number of women in golf. We hope it will keep growing each passing year. Our heroine believes that it's impossible to not like golf. It is more than just a sport for her. It teaches her to think, plan and analyze the overall situation.
Неважно, сколько тебе лет, сколько ты весишь, какие у тебя физические способности.
Your age, weight, and physical abilities do not matter. You can still find a way to play this sport. It also teaches you quite a lot. While playing on a green, you learn psychology, concentration, and strategy, because in golf you need to go the distance and take into consideration the layout of the greenway, the wind, weather conditions, and sometimes even air density. Understanding all those factors, it will be much easier for you to spot underwater rocks, take all other elements of nature into account, and thereby achieve an even higher result than you had expected starting from the very first strike.
Какие-то вот, может быть, скрытые подловки. Легче учитывать все и получать лучший результат, чем даже ожидалось.
Golfers always study the greens before starting the game and make sketches in a special notebook. Elvira also has such a sketchbook.
Здесь идет
It's a complete drawing of the greenway with holes and grass. There are only greens drawn on this blueprint. But if we take this one, there also have holes drawn here. So where the hole is, that's exactly where the bunkers and ponds are. We do this to come up with a strategy, to take into account all the hills, slopes and hazards that golfers may have to deal with and avoid making any mistakes during the game. A professional golf course has 18 holes. The underlying principle of the rules is fairness. On the back cover of the official rule book for playing golf it is written, play the ball as it lies, play on the course as you see it, and if you cannot do either, then do what is fair. Golfers wear gloves to prevent the clubs from slipping from their hands. Golfers usually warm up with irons or wedges. After warming up all the muscles, those golfers who are right-handed grip the club and the left hand is below the right hand. At middle ranges, the stance you take is between the feet and the shoulders with a slight crouch, and the torso should be leaning forward, and the knees should be slightly bent.
Немного присогнуты колени и наклон корпуса.
This is known as the grip. You place the club's head behind the ball, stand straight, then you take the backswing, rotating your shoulders away from the ball. Then you strike the ball while turning your leg to add to the energy and impact force. In one training session, Elvira strikes more than 100 balls. It is at this moment that she can hone individual elements like working on the distance or accuracy of her strikes, on control of striking the ball, as well as on the precise direction of her strikes. I'm going to try to make the ball go from right to left, which is called a hook. I curved it too much this time. But this is basically how it happens. The ball spins to the left, but it goes farther to the right than necessary. The longest distance shots that I made were 230 to 250 meters. The record among amateurs is about 250 meters as well. I think in professional golf, some women make long-distance shots up to 270 to 280 meters. I truly believe that it is quite difficult for any golfer to send the ball flying any further than that distance.
280 метров, то есть дальше такого, чтобы стабильно нету.
Our heroine is always very concentrated during the game. Nothing must distract her, even lunch breaks.
Особенность Элли,
Elvira is unique compared to other members of the national golf team because she almost always prefers playing alone and she never eats before a tournament. A game on the greenway takes about 5 hours, but Elvira always asks to give her a banana or an apple only when she starts getting nervous or is given a poor performance. This happens very rarely, as she very often comes to play on her own.
очень редко. Она вообще как бы часто ходит, играет сама.
Golf is played in any weather, even in the rain. The only natural element that can stop a game of golf is lightning. And playing by the rule play the ball as it lays, golfers sometimes have to strike the ball out of such places where, for example, there are trees or some bodies of water.
Ну, из воды я била раза, наверное, за всю жизнь.
I think I had to hit the ball out of water only one time in my life. It was at the Winter Cup of Ukraine. My ball landed in a body of water, though it was right on the bank, so I decided that I could strike it out of there. I failed to do it, but it was nevertheless a fun and interesting experience, because I always wanted to learn something new. But professionals know how to get out of practically any situations similar to this one.
Научиться чему-то, а профессионалы даже из таких ситуаций умеют выходить.
Elvira often meets representatives of the local fauna while playing. In Ukraine, there are fox, hares, squirrels, and even deer. But when playing in South Africa, she came across some scarier animals.
Там есть у них поле.
There's a golf green where crocodiles roam near one of the holes. They sometimes come out of the water to bask in the sun. It's better not to approach them, though it is very interesting to observe them. There was also a time when a pack of boars came out of nowhere. I don't know what they were, but they were very similar to boars. They watched us play, walked past us, and were generally very comfortable being around us, as if they were at home.
До этого их раньше не встречала, то есть так. И они просто смотрели, как мы играем, там мимо проходили, вообще, ну, то есть чувствовали себя очень комфортно, будто дома. И
So back to the point, I got a chance to play that greenway on my birthday, and I scored an eagle on the 18th hole. It was the first eagle in my life. The hole was unusual, and there were crocodiles roaming across the green and near the hole. There were also a lot of monkeys there. They're so curious and quick that they can grab your ball and simply run away.
очень много обезьян. Они прям могут мячи выйти, забрать и все, и убежать.
Elvira Rostvortseva plans to get a higher education in either architecture and design or biology and medicine. She has not decided yet, but she loves studying. Alas, she sometimes has to sacrifice either her favorite sport of golf for studies or the other way around.
Я еще пытаюсь уделять очень много времени учебе.
I also try to devote a lot of time to studying so that I can try to find a balance between sports and studies, and so that one hobby and interest in my life doesn't take over the other one. Though naturally, I still have to make sacrifices in the sense that I have to sometimes skip classes. If I leave for competitions in the middle of a school year, I study what I had missed in the evenings after the rounds so that I won't miss too much. And sometimes I have to sacrifice golf when there are exams or tests that I need to study for. Elvira has several role models among the players of the latest Professional Golf Association. These are Americans Michelle Son-Wee and Lexi Thompson, as well as New Zealander Lydia Ko. I really like Michelle's approach to the game and the fact that she does not give up after injuries. As for Lexi, it's probably because she is a pretty good player herself. She works hard, which obviously leads to good results. And Lydia is the youngest player in professional golf. She turned professional at the age of 18, if I recall correctly, and that's really cool.
Самым молодым игроком, который вошел в профессиональный гольф. То есть она вошла в юношеском возрасте, около 18 лет, если я не ошибаюсь, и это действительно...
As for men, there are several icons for me. Among them is the well-known and brilliant American golfer Tiger Woods, who is a legend of his own. His return and then another victory is all very cool.
Это действительно очень круто.
Brooks Koepka also works a lot on himself, and he's a nice person. I also respect Shane Lowry. I know him personally. We met on a flight on Turkish Airlines. I served as a volunteer at the time, and I got a fantastic opportunity to play one round of golf with him.
Я волонтерила, и мне предоставилась возможность с ним сыграть раунд один.
The next goal of our heroine is to switch from amateur to professional golf. We created a professional golf association this year, which includes 2 women so far. We hope that their number will keep increasing, and I think that professionals will be able to take part in tournaments as early as next year, since all the prerequisites have already been met. Golf made its debut at the Olympic Games in 2016, so Elvira Rastvortseva has another sports dream.
Очень бы хотелось.
I would really like to represent Ukraine at the Olympic Games. I really hope that I'll be able to do that, and I will certainly consider that to be my greatest achievement of my entire life, whether I win or lose.
Это будет действительно, наверное, самым таким моим достижением на протяжении всей моей жизни.